for discussion thereon. Sharma sir.
Thank you, Vishal, and thank you, Manish, for organizing this. And thanks to all the members who have joined on time. The USP of our programs is that whatever be the number, we start on the time and we will try to finish it on time. So there are two important things which, as Manish has, Vishal has already pointed out. One is that insolvency professional entities have been allowed to provide services to the insolvency professionals who are not their members or partners. And the second proposal is limiting the number of assignments to the insolvency professionals. So as far as the object of equitable distribution of assignments among the IPs is concerned, this is a welcome move by the IBBI. In, in one of the webinars, a senior official of IBBI informed that only 36% of the registered IPs had one or more assignments. That means 64% of the registered IPs are still waiting for their first assignment. And a few IPs have more than 10 assignments, even 20 assignments. So the purpose behind this is to flatten the highly skewed curve. But the key issues which have been mentioned in the statement of problem, as per the discussion paper, are that value is usually dependent on the time taken to resolve the insolvency, since it erodes over time and rapidly once the insolvency proceedings commence. IP must refrain from accepting too many assignments. Now, what is the definition of too many assignments? If he is unlikely to be able to devote adequate time to each of his assignments, an IP has to protect and preserve the value of property of the CD and manage the affairs of the CD as a going concern with full responsibility as he replaces the board. An IP is expected to operate at the efficiency level of the managing director of the company. And the discussion paper also refers to the limitations on the number of managing directorship or the number of WTM as per the Companies Act. And it has put criteria of turnover to decide the number of cases. The questions asked are, it has also been put on chat for reference of everybody. Should there be any restriction on number of cases which an IP can handle at a given point of time? If yes, whether the proposed action is adequate or any change is required. And the question number 3 is that if no, what should be the criteria for putting a threshold? For example, assets, turnover, number of claims, etc. Question number 4 is what should be the minimum or maximum threshold under the criteria for such restrictions? So on one hand, there are IPs who are waiting for their first assignment. On the other hand, there are IPs who have formed IPEs, insolvency professional entities, and invested heavily in building up infrastructure and skilled manpower. So there could be multiple reasons for this state of affairs that about 64%, 60 people are not getting assignment. But limiting the number of assignments may not necessarily ensure equitable distribution among the IPs. Because in my opinion, the actual issue faced by IP is not confined to these 4 questions relating to the number of assignments. This is only one of the dimensions. The other 2 dimensions are fee and the concept of IPE. So it's a 3-dimensional issue. And if we just talk about one dimension of number of assignments, then it may not really solve the problem. And the profession of insolvency professional should not be compared with any other professional like a CA or a managing director or a whole-time director, because the role and responsibility of insolvency professional is quite unique. You can't just compare it with the number of audits or other assignments of other professionals. So let's have a holistic view of the development since notification of IBC with effect from 1st December 2016 regarding these 3 issues. Let us first have a discussion about the insolvency professional entities. As far as my opinion is concerned, I feel this concept is not as in compliance with the code. because there is no mention of IPE in the BLRC report, in the Act, or in the rules. The regulations are a subordinate legislation which have to facilitate the provisions of the Act. And here we see that the provisions of or the regulations have created the concept of IPE. And again, all these restrictions are being done through IPE. Generally, all these restrictions are in the act of passed by the parliament, not in the form of regulations. And as far as the IP rule is concerned, that has also kept on changing. Initially, there was no limit or there was no requirement of a network. And then there was a requirement of network. So a number of IPs got themselves dissolved. And this may be the only profession where you have a requirement of net worth to practice that profession. And then it restricted the provision of services only to its own partners or members. And to my mind, that was also an issue of serious conflict of interest. Of course, now they have opened it up for all the IPs. IP can provide services to all the insolvency professionals, whether they are members or partners of that IPE or not. IPE has raised another serious dimension about the empanelment of IPs with the banks, because the banks will invariably ask whether you are a part of IPE or whether you are supported by IPE. And that has created a dominant situation of insolvency professional entities. If you see the details as per IBBI site, there are very few IPs which have numbers more than 10. And there is one IP with the members of 40, probably 44 members, and that IP has 150 assignments. There may not be other IPs with such large number of assignments. So that is an aberration in the whole system. Then the second dimension is about the fees. If you remember, initially IBBI used to invite bids from the insolvency professionals. And that has led to a very absurd situation. Like in desperation, people have quoted even a fee of rupees 10,000, 1,000, or one person has gone even to rupee 1. Now you imagine the system of bidding. On one hand, you say the IP is in such a responsible position and onerous duties. And on the other hand, people are ready to take up assignment with such a low remuneration. IBBI has come out with 2 discussion papers regarding fee, but they are yet to decide anything on that regarding fixation of fee. So regarding the number of assignments, NCLT Hyderabad way back in August 2017 in the Lanco Infratech case declined to appoint an IP who was already having 3 assignments. So it is almost 3 years since then. And the situation has become from bad to worse in terms of the distribution of assignments. And now IBBI has come out with this paper on number of assignments. So the issues of fee, number of assignments, and IPs are correlated issues. And if we just decide on one issue, fixing number of assignments without ensuring that IPs get a proper fee, because one thing is also proposed that all type of assignments will be included in the limit. So if somebody is taking a voluntary assignment case for a small fee, that will also be counted as one number. And then the criteria fixed is in terms of turnover, which may not be relevant for most of the companies going under insolvency. And if you try to have number of parameters, then it will be very difficult to coordinate and control, because unless you are able to implement a law, there is no point in having that law. So there has to be a proper mechanism to put that control in place. So that's what I would like to say in the background, and now leave it for the honorable members to give their opinion, and then we'll compile the opinion of all those members and communicate it to the IBBI. So back to Mr. Vishal to conduct the process from this place onwards.
Thank you, Sharma ji. Now I would like to invite Mr. Ravi Prakash ji Gandhi from Mumbai. to give their views. Please, Ravi Prakash ji.
Thank you, Vishalji. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, yes.
You are
Thanks a
audible.
lot. Okay, a bit of slight background. When we go back to the BLRC report, it has basically talked of market-driven mechanism as far as the IP ecosystem is concerned. IBBI over the last couple of years has been very responsive. Whenever issues have come up to come out tweaking the regulation, the government has been. That's good, but over-regulation can be extremely disastrous. So, I mean, when you look at the IP profession, it's basically private sector people doing a public job. If this is over-regulated, then it can lead to consequences which we cannot even think of today. It will become maybe like the official liquidator thing. If you want fees to be decided by somebody else, assignments to be decided by somebody else, then where are we? I mean, where is the free market force, playing it out in terms of ability, experience, and whatever. The code has also said, as far as the appointment of RPs are concerned, it is almost entirely the prerogative of the COC. And by making over-regulation on this, it is possible that you are actually cutting into their power, so to say. Now, I think now most of us are aware that almost all banks, bigger banks that is, they have a system, a very formalized system of selecting an IRP. And many of them specifically state that if you have 3 or more assignments in hand, you are not eligible. That issue has been largely taken care of as far as the larger banks are concerned in terms of number of assignments. At the same time, the COC would also need probably some guidance on how, when they select somebody or don't, or confirm, what should be the criteria. So in a previous session on the same subject, I had stated the same thing, that what IBBI should come out with is a guidance note, which is advisory, not mandatory, but which lays down the factors which the COC should consider when confirming an IRP to RP or appointing a new RP or a liquidator. Okay, liquidator doesn't come in, but in that arena. So that the independence and the power of the COC is protected. The board gives a guidance so that the factors are considered. And more importantly, today, the COC is largely like a separate animal, autonomous region, which has nothing to do with whatever IBBI or the board does. But this could start bridging the gap or that connection which is missing. Like the board is entirely about IPs, but let it also be about the COC, which is a creation of this statute. As far as IPEs are concerned, Madhusudan ji has said very rightly that the law doesn't allow it. Strictly speaking, there is no provision for such a thing in the code anywhere at all.
Mr. Ravi Prakash ji, we take from you that this should be the guidance note, advisory in nature through by the IBBI, rather than putting the restriction on the IPs to involve to take such kind of assignments.
I would say the guidance note should be addressed with this as the audience and not the IPs.
Okay, thank you, Ravi Prakash. Now I would like to invite Mr. Vinod Ji Chaurasia to give their view on the issue. Vinod.
Hi, good evening all. Sir, I believe the restriction has to be there. Actually, restriction is also been in operation by Institute of Chartered Accountant, whereby a chartered accountant can do tax audit, 60 tax audit in a year, or statutory audits are 30 per chartered accountant, out of which maximum 20 can be the public limited companies. The purpose of those restrictions by CA Institute was to ensure the quality of audits, and apart from equal distributions of the work among the young fraternity. So I believe the proposed by IBBI is a good, as it may help in equitable distribution of the work apart from ensuring the quality of the assignments. Over to you, sir. Hello.
Thank you, Vinodji. Now we take from Vinod Chaurasia that it should be there for equitable distribution of the work. Now I would like to invite Mr. Raj Kamalji Saragoi to put their view. Raj Kamalji. Raj
Thank
Kamalji.
you. Thanks for giving me the opportunity. There are two views given. One is extreme left and another is extreme right. It's always good that the regulator controls us. That's not that we cannot challenge that one. But whether it should be a self-regulation or it be over-regulation, I'm against the over-regulations, not the self-regulation. So as far as the regulation by advisory is concerned, that's always welcome. But as far as regulation on giving that over-regulation, that will create more difficulties to IPs. We are already over-regulated. We have got so many compliances to make with them. So in my view, it should not be over-regulated. Now, just to analyze the number of cases, the CA Institute is giving the reference that is so number of cases should be handled. But in case of IBC, we are adding an ant with the elephant. It may be an elephant or it may be ant. Then there are many depreciators. Suppose it's a going concern, that can be single location or multiple locations. If it is asset size, or it can be a number of claims. It may be dormant company or having large tangible assets and having no assets. Company with class of creditors having huge number of creditors to deal with. Manufacturing company, service company, trading company, technology company. Group insolvency, cross-border insolvency, MSME. Voluntary liquidation with changeable assets, voluntary liquidations with bank balances only. Section 9 cases used as recovery mechanism getting settled, withdrawn. Now, we may be appointed as administrator. Now, the thing is, if we want to control the numbers and giving equal weightage to elephant and both at a time same, it will create more aberration than the present situation. My humble view is that if anything is to be controlled, is the large companies, large going concern companies, which needs to be which needs to be given very restrictively, where the number of cases are very less with IP. If an IP is handling good number of cases and they are big cases, then it will be very difficult for them to handle. In that case, there should be restrictions from the top companies. Like if it is a going concern with 50,000 crore operations, then it should be restricted to one. I fully endorse that view. But the thing is, the IDP is trying to regulate aberration through aberration maybe only 5%, 2%, 3% cases, whereas 98% IPs may need not required to have any control, and that should be self-advisory. So in first place, there should not be no numbers game. Only the highest, the big companies should be controlled with the numbers. That is my submission. It should be simpler one. This is my submission. Yeah, Vishalji, I'm through. विशाल जी, आई थिंक विशाल जी का कनेक्शन जो है गड़बड़ होता है.
So May I request Mr. J.K. Budiraja ji to give his opinion or his thoughts on that? Budiraja ji is okay. Then Mr. Devendra Umrao has requested that he would like to give his opinion. So we request Mr. Devendra Rao.
Sir,
Mr.
can
Devendra Rao.
am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Sir, my opinion is simple. In my opinion, I think this is fine, restricted to as it is there in every other profession. It is okay. It may help in.
Devendra sir, your voice is cracking.
Okay. Is it a little better now?
No, yeah, good sir.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. So I'll repeat myself. I said that first of all, I think regulation is okay as far as number of assignments is concerned because it may create at least an opportunity for those who don't have assignments. Otherwise, the situation currently is already summed up by Mr. Sharma very well as far as IPs and other related issues are concerned. But my opinion difference is about the criteria and the number that they have selected, to restrict this number. So, in my opinion, all of us are professionals and have seen a lot in our professional life. You would agree that something like a voluntary liquidation, which is mostly of a defunct company almost, is not equivalent to a corporate insolvency resolution process of a 1,000 crore running company. So there is no way that you can equate these two assignments, for example. So this criteria for different kind of assignments has to be reset. I mean, maybe hypothetically, for example, you can say that one CIRP case of a 500 or 1,000 crore company will equal 2 liquidation cases or 3 VL cases, and then you can fix, 5 or 6 as the limit of CIRP cases, and some number of that as VL and liquidation cases, for example. My submission, but I would like to brief and give chance to others to.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Devendra ji. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to invite Mr. J.K. Budiraja ji to give his view.
I think he's not there.
He is not there. Then
Go with Mr. Sanjeev.
Sanjeev Ahuja ji is with us.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, great. So, look, I have already kind of earlier shared my views. My submission would be that if you read the document, what has been shared by IBBI, there is too much what they expect, by making this one change. So there is a reference of timelines, there is a reference of efficiency, and there is a reference to distribution of work. Now, efficiency, I understand. You can only handle as much as is humanly possible if you are being equated with a managing director of a company, of a going concern. But as far as timelines are concerned, I think that is a total, a wrong comparison where never ever I've seen any IP, on his own not being able to finish it. It's primarily because of COC, NCLT delays and all that. And as far as distribution is concerned, again, I'll have, my doubts in terms of whether IBBI is sitting there as a regulator or actually ensuring that, everyone does get work. I think there's a lot which depends on how much aggressive they are, how much, effort they put in, how much eager they are to kind of expand and take it forward. So those things are not left to the regulator. Maybe won't come to brokers and say कि सबको काम मिल रहा है कि नहीं मिल रहा. तो मेरे हिसाब से efficiency is the only parameter which should be discussed. That was point one. Then, as Mr. Sharma has already kind of earlier shared his view, that there are connected issues. We cannot be picking up this particular aspect and say कि सब कुछ बाकी ठीक हो जाएगा. Has the fee part been discussed? उसका इतना important impact है. The very fact that an IP today cannot manage his workflow, कब consent दिया, the only control he has is on giving a consent. As far as the appointment is concerned, whether by the banks or NCLT, frankly, I don't find enough transparency. So when you can't control your workflow, how can you create a profession or a practice out of it? So those are important points. Fees, IP entity, this entire debate about the Vijay Garg's disciplinary action. All these things are going to have repercussions on many aspects of this profession. So nothing can be seen in isolation. Coming back to the point, yes, people have already spoken about going concern versus a dead company versus voluntary liquidation. Those are absolutely very important parameters. So have we really got deeper into it? They've tried to make it so simple by putting 1,000 crore and 10,000 crore and 50,000 crore turnover. And they are very well aware. IBBI today was very well aware. The kind of data what they have, we may not have that, as to how many companies had how many assets and how much time it took and all that. So just putting a simple, parameter of turnover was again, throwing something in the field, and we are trying to kind of go left and right on all that. So I think not enough has been done by IBBI as of now. I'm still not very sure about the real objective of putting what should I say, bar on the assignments. It's just totally connected to the efficiency and the delivery, nothing else. And every case is going to be different. You can't even compare two cases and say कि क्योंकि एक में तकलीफ हुई तो दूसरे में कम होगी या ज़्यादा होगी. And finally the point which is what I kind of made a passing statement. Consent is the only thing which is in control of an IP. How does an IP is able to kind of really restrict his assignment? आज आपने consent दिया, how many consents are going to get transformed? What about your section 9 वो जो panel से आपकी appointments होती हैं? If everything is not taken together, then you are not going to find a solution. तो ये बहुत ही myopic discussion चल रही है. That's my only concern. We really need to kind of look at the macro picture, and all the connected points need to be resolved together. Otherwise, it's going to be a difficult thing. That's my submission. Thank you.
Yes, sir. There are so many points. There are point of this particular thread, and
Yes.
one point cannot be catch, and the other point cannot be left out.
And विशाल
Now,
होता क्या है ना, इसमें क्या होता है, you fill you take one step forward and then you are forced to take two step backward. वो एक
Yeah.
जगह हम कुछ घटा बढ़ते हैं और दो और क्रिएट हो जाते हैं. तो जब हमारे पास ये 4-5 इश्यूज के आज तक रिजॉल्व नहीं हुए, चाहे आईपी एंटिटी का बर्निंग इशू है, फीस का बर्निंग इशू है, आउटसोर्सिंग किसे कहते हैं, किसको मैं अपॉइंट कर सकता हूँ, किसको नहीं कर सकता, ऑल दोस थिंग्स आर कनेक्टेड. आप लोग कभी भी फुल टाइम प्रोफेशन नहीं बना पाओगे अनलेस until we get clarity on the entire thing. So it's
Right.
not restriction, it's much more. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Ahuja. Now, I would like to invite Mr. GP Madan in our group to give their view on the issue. Mr. Madan.
Thank you. Hope you are able to hear me.
Yeah, perfectly all right, sir.
Actually, I had come somewhere outside for a meeting and I simply forgot, and meeting went on for a long time. और I'm sitting there only. एकदम मुझे याद आया and then I logged in for this. So my apologies for coming late, but still अब ये जो दोस्तों की महफिल है, ये meeting है, इसको I can't afford to miss it.
Yeah, you are most welcome, sir.
So my compliments to Madhusudan ji and the entire team and all the members who are participating in this. My view, संजीव जी को स्पेशल नमस्कार. मेरा को संजीव जी वैसे तो मुलाकात हो नहीं पाती, लेकिन इस माध्यम के थ्रू मेरे उनसे मुलाकात हो रही है.
नमस्कार जी.
नमस्कार जी. I hope you are getting the message which I'm giving.
Absolutely. Please.
अच्छा, अब इस पे coming to this discussion paper, I think जिस दिन ICSI ने भी एक इवेंट किया था, उसमें मैं भी था, संजीव जी भी थे और शायद मधुसूदन जी भी थे, मुझे लगता है उसमें. उस दिन मेरा व्यू यही था कि सबसे पहले तो मेरे तो लैंग्वेज के ऊपर जो डिस्कशन पेपर की है ना, आई हैव अ स्ट्रॉन्ग रिजर्वेशन ऑन दैट लैंग्वेज. At couple of places in the discussion paper, it has been written that whatever delay is happening, that is because of the insolvency professionals. If quality of that is because of the insolvency professionals, because they are taking too much of assignments is happening because of them. So I simply, not reservation, I oppose that language. That day we asked Mr. Chaudhary से पूछा भी था हमने कि फिगर्स क्या हैं, उन्होंने कोई फिगर्स दी थी वहां पे, बट आई एम नॉट सेटिस्फाइड विद दोस फिगर्स कि एक्चुअली कितने इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोफेशनल्स हैं जिनके पास मोर देन 5 असाइनमेंट्स हैं एट एनी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. आई डिडंट आस्क हिम कि टोटल किस इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोफेशनल ने कितने असाइनमेंट किए, एनी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम किस आईपी के पास कितने असाइनमेंट्स हैं. आई वांट टू नो दैट अगर सिर्फ 2, 3, 4, 5 केस ऐसे हैं जिसमें at any given point of time some IP is having more than 5 cases, then according to me that is aberration. Considering those aberrations, this discussion paper is nothing but a useless exercise, and there should not be any restriction on this number to begin with. Number 2, if I ask myself कि कल करना है, मुझे assignment लेनी है, discussion paper also says that I am like a managing director of the company. If I am like managing director of the company, so can I be managing director of 5 companies at any point of time? Answer is big no. मेरे अंदर की conscious ही मुझे allow नहीं करेगी to take more than couple of cases at any given point of time. But provided जो 2 cases लेता हूँ, 2 cases में मुझे मेरा remuneration मिलेगा as per the market and time से मिलेगा. मेरा इंटरेस्ट भी तो इंटैक्ट रहना चाहिए ना. पता लगे 2 असाइनमेंट्स मैंने ले लिए, उनमें COC is not approving my fees, पैसे मुझे मिल नहीं रहे हैं, and then IBPI says I can't take other assignments. Why so? Why IBPI is not coming forward with this? Yes, this is the minimum fee, and minimum fee has to be paid either if there are funds in the company or by COC members. And then there should be certain directions or guidelines for adjudicating authority also, that while approving the appointment of IRP at that point of time, some minimum and later on also when somebody is becoming an RP at that point of time, some minimum remuneration has to be fixed, which an RP shall be getting, and that also frequently on time. Are we there only for discharging our duties, discharging our responsibilities and taking the liabilities? No, sorry. If we are taking the responsibilities, if we are liable for the non-compliances, we can be held liable for something, anything wrong happening in the corporate CD, then certainly we are entitled for handsome amount of fee also. And despite all that, पता लगे हमने सारा काम कर लिया, उसके बाद we receive a show cause notice and the matter goes to disciplinary committee, and after disciplinary committee क्या हो जाएगा, वहां पे पता लगे जितना आपने दिया 25% उसका जमा करा दो. Whether you received something or not, 25% of the amount payable to you, please deposit it here. I'm opposed to that. जो criteria इन्होंने रखा, criteria of turnover, I simply asked them, why don't you go to the provisions of the Companies Act 2013? Companies Act 2013 में the provisions relating to appointment of independent directors, CSR, audit committee, plus secretarial audit, there are number of issues जहाँ पे 3 या 4 threshold limits दी हुई है simultaneously. That if a company falls into any of those threshold limits, the provision shall become applicable. तो अब यहाँ पे immediately along with turnover, या paid up capital, number of employees, the claims or the amount owed to the secured creditor, 3, 4, 5 अब क्यों नहीं रख देते criteria? The moment one of them is hit, तो cover हो जाएगा मेरा. Why? क्योंकि एक खाली आप एक अगर लेके चलेंगे तो किसी में टर्नओवर होगी 10,000 करोड़ की और किसी में टर्नओवर होगी 100 करोड़ रुपए की with the same size. And the turnover again, there is no clarity at what date. There has to be some date immediately preceding financial year or as per the last available annual financial statement जो 3 साल पुरानी भी हो सकती है. सपोज 2016 में कंपनी की टर्नओवर थी 1000 करोड़ और 2018 में कंपनी टर्नओवर रहेगी 50 करोड़. बाकी सब कुछ तो सेम है कंपनी में टर्नओवर छोड़ के. तो क्या मैं 50 के हिसाब से चलूंगा, 1000 के हिसाब से चलूंगा? एंड देन फोर्थ थिंग इज दिस एट एनी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. उन्होंने कहा 5 केसेस एट एनी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. व्हाट इज दैट एट एनी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम? एट ए गिवन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम देयर हैज टू बी सम क्लैरिटी. Suppose my plan has been approved. I am part of the monitoring committee. Will it be counted? Suppose my plan is pending before NCLT and NCLT has taken a year to decide on that. Shall it be counted in my figure of 5? Company has gone into liquidation. Liquidation is taking its own time. Or some of the corporate debtors, as the fashion is nowadays, the corporate debtors are filing an appeal or any application and delaying the liquidation process under the garb of 230 and all that. अब उन दिनों मेरे पास काम नहीं है करने को, but I am a trustee of the assets of the company, that's all. Will that be counted for the purposes of this at any given point of time? I think there are so many gray areas. जब तक इन सब gray areas का solution नहीं निकलता है, जब तक हालात सामान्य नहीं होते हैं, आजकल तो वैसे ही आपने 1 लाख से 1 करोड़ कर दिया और ऊपर से आपने सस्पेंड कर दिया, तो वैसे ही काम कम होने वाला है। तो जब तक नॉर्मलिटी नहीं आती है इन द कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर, नॉर्मलिटी नहीं आती है इकोनॉमी में, according to me, तब तक this discussion paper should not be discussed at all, and all these proposed decisions should be kept in abeyance. This is what my views are. Thank you.
Thank you, Madan sir. Now we have with us Mr. Alok Kaushik. Alok ji, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Alok, yeah. Alok ji, share your views on the issue, sir.
Thank you for this opportunity. Speaking in front of so many stalwarts here. I'm not a technical person, but let me technical in the sense I come from outside the process here. I'm an engineer, not exactly SCA, CS or a lawyer, but having given me this opportunity to speak, thank you very much. So I'll echo a lot of what Mr. Madan has said. This paper which has been shared does not have the complete information, in the sense when it talks about starting from a company with a turnover of 1,000 crores. So how many cases are there which are more than 1,000 crores turnover companies? So most of the cases we see are far less than this in terms of turnover. And the person or the group which has made this paper, have they understood what goes into handling a company with a turnover of 1,000 crores? So they're saying if it is more than 1,000 crores, then a person is capable of handling 5 such cases. So I strongly, I'm not in favor of these numbers which are given here. So the structuring should be made proper. I mean, I think the band should start from 50 crores turnover, and then it goes up. And maximum cases, in my opinion, should not be more than 3. Provided there is another clarification in terms of the fees which are being specified. So unless you specify on the fee part also, you cannot, freeze the number of cases which a person can handle. So both these things need to be, taken together, and also the bands which have been defined needs to be looked into. 1,000 crore company turnover is a huge task for a CEO to handle. How can a person handle 5 such companies? If you look at the listed companies also, I'm not sure. I think not even 1,000 such companies are there which more than 1,000 crores of turnover.
So we take from you that this restriction should not be there. The restriction should not be there.
No, I'm saying restriction should be there. I'm saying the number of cases restriction should be there. This should be defined. But then
it should be defined more.
The ban should be redefined, and also the minimum fees part, which IBBI earlier said has to be market driven. If they are saying the number of cases are not to be market driven and this is to be defined, then the fees also should be defined. That floor should be defined.
Along with fees should be defined. Okay, yeah. Alok, thank you very much. Members are requested to give their opinion in chat box also, so that we can compile it and file to the appropriate authority at the timely manner. Now, I would like
Vishal ji, 1 minute लेता हूँ.
Yes,
Vishal ji.
Yes, sir.
Basically, देखिए, जो it's not a consensus. We're not concluding anything immediately. But I tell you what. Normally, this entire strategy used by IBBI is a lopsided one. एक पेपर निकाला गया, उसके बाद आखिरी में 5 क्वेश्चन लिखे गए, और करते करते आप और हम इस टाइम क्या कर रहे हैं कि इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर क्या होना चाहिए, यस और नो. लेकिन आपको ये पता चलेगा पिछले 4-5 लोगों ने क्या बोला कि ये क्वेश्चन फ्रेम होने से पहले हमें उनसे कुछ सवालात करने हैं. हमें ये देखना है कि क्या IBBI को समझे कि ऑन ग्राउंड क्या हो रहा है. आर दे रियली हैविंग देयर ईयर्स ऑन द ग्राउंड. जब ये 1000 करोड़ की बात आ रही है, फीस की बात आ रही है, इंटरकनेक्टेड इश्यूज की बात आ रही है, सो इट्स नॉट इजी टू से रिस्ट्रिक्शन होनी चाहिए कि नहीं होनी चाहिए. आप MD से कंपेयर करते हो तो 1 होनी चाहिए. 3 लोगों ने ये चीज बोली, तो इसका मतलब वो ये नहीं कि वो चाहते या नहीं चाहते. द पॉइंट इज द पैरामीटर्स शुड बी वेल डिफाइंड, नंबर 1, एंड देन देयर शुड बी अ बैलेंस्ड नोइंग द स्टेक होल्डर्स इंटरेस्ट. यहाँ पे ऊपर बैठ के सिर्फ हमें 5 क्वेश्चन के आंसर नहीं देने हैं. Otherwise, what will happen? वो आंसर्स को कंपाइल करेंगे.
संजीव,
हो गया हमारा काम. हाँ जी.
Sanjeev, you rightly said, and that's how we started.
Yeah.
The 4 questions are just to get an opinion of the members as such, but we have already said that this is not the only issue to decide. We have to decide in totality all the 3 issues which are relevant.
Absolutely.
It is just
बिल्कुल
for
वही वही
information for the view of our members. There is something else which can also they be, put in the chat box. There's no limit on that, or there's no control on that. These 4 questions.
मधुसूदन जी, माई अपॉलॉजी, मुझे नहीं पता था, आई जॉइन लेट कि आपने 4 क्वेश्चंस रेज किए हुए हैं, मैंने तो विदाउट नोइंग दोस 4 क्वेश्चंस आई हैव गिवन माय व्यूज।
नहीं, आपका तो व्यूज बड़ा जबरदस्त होता है, यू आर द लीडर ऑफ आईपीएस।
Right, sir.
So we go faster so that everybody takes 2 to 3 minutes, and we give opportunity to everybody to say whatever they feel like.
Now, I would like to invite Mr. Vikram Singh Ji Gosai. Are you with us, Mr. Vikram Ji?
I am.
Okay, sir. Share your view, please.
I agree with whatever the other speaker has said, and I too do not agree with that. It is some sort of objective type question. You tick, and then there are many things which need to be done before answering these questions. Yes, I agree, restriction has to be there. But before restriction, what are the parameters as our earlier speaker has said? What are the issue related to fees? And also while deciding the number, MSMA, voluntary liquidation, they should not be considered. And also other point, which is, I don't want to repeat the point because they are already taken care by other speakers.
Right, right.
Only I am not in agreement with these questions, objective type of questions that answer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Second thing, and without deciding the parameter unambiguously, it should not. There is no. This is going to fail again.
Rightly said that blinker should not be put by the IBBI before giving the views. Okay, okay, Mr. Vikram. Thank you very much. Now I would like to invite Mr. Vijay Kumar Ji Ahuja. They are banker, and what is their perspective, sir? Yeah, please unmute, sir. Please unmute yourself.
गुड इवनिंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू।
गुड इवनिंग सर।
सर, मेरा जो विचार है कि ये जो हमारी आईपीज बनी हुई हैं, जो कि एक सेंटर बन चुका है अलॉटमेंट का, कि हर कोई वही 1, 2, 4 सेंट, क्यों ना इनको सर्विस सेंटर बना दिया जाए। इनके जितने भी डायरेक्टर हैं उनको अलॉटमेंट ही ना, उनको असाइनमेंट की ये सर्विस प्रोवाइड करें। इनका काम है, स्पेशलाइज हो जाएंगे। जब भी मेरे को असाइनमेंट मिलेगी, मैं अपनी मर्जी की आईपी से बात करूंगा और अब उसी हिसाब से मैं इनको पेमेंट करूंगा। और ये स्पेशलाइज हो, जो कंप्लेंट आ रही है कि वहाँ करप्शन होगा, वो खत्म हो जाएगा सारा,
आउटसोर्स कर दिया जाए उसको।
ये तो लिमिट अब आज 5 की लिमिट लगाई जाएगी, कल को 10 की हो जाएगी, ये तो बढ़ती जाएगी। अल्टीमेटली जो डोमिनेट कर रहे हैं वो तो करेंगे ही करेंगे। आज कोई भी बहाना ढूंढ लीजिए, वो कुछ भी है, 1000 करोड़ का कोई पेड अप कैपिटल पे आ जाएगा, कोई कुछ आ जाएगा। इनको तो जब से देखा नहीं आपने, कई हमारी आईपी है जिनके 40 to 50 मेंबर्स है, सरप्राइजिंग है, 200 केस है, और कई हमारे मोर देन 1000 आईपी थे जिनको पता ही नहीं अलॉटमेंट होगी भी कि नहीं होगी। हमने 3-4 बार देखा, ईओआई लिया जाता है, वहाँ आईबीबीआई ने अपने रूल रखे हुए हैं, एनसीएलटी ने अपने रूल रखे हुए हैं। जब पहला नंबर आता है उसका नाम भी नहीं आता, जो 10वें का आता उसका भी नहीं आता, जब लास्ट में आता उसका आ जाता है। तो इसमें कोई जस्ट तो है ही नहीं। तो इनको क्यों ना इनको अलग ही कर दिया जाए, ये सर्विस प्रोवाइड करें। अगर इनको शौक है आईपी बनाने का, दे शुड प्रोवाइड सर्विस प्रोवाइडर। और जितने आईपी है, और फिर ये कोई पार्शियलिटी का नहीं रहेगा, जिसको मर्जी जितना बड़ा मर्जी असाइनमेंट दे दीजिए, वो अपने आप आईपी की सर्विस देके हैंडल कर ले असाइनमेंट को।
Vishal, I'll just add a small thing to what Vijay ji has said. In the webinar conducted by ICASI, I had that radical suggestion that you separate IPs and IP entity. Members of IP entity should not be entitled to get a case. They should only provide services like the merchant bankers do under SEBI. And unfortunately, this suggestion was not recorded in the minutes.
No, that is there. My suggestion will also not be accepted. I agree. But the question is, until you make them separate, you can't say कितने असाइनमेंट, क्योंकि अभी तक तो कभी कहते हैं कि आपको ये एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है, कभी कहते हैं आपको ये एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है। तो ये जो बैंकों ने पैनल मेट किया, खत्म हो जाएगा जब आईपी बन जाएंगे, ये सर्विस प्रोवाइडर बन जाएंगे तो।
So that point is well taken.
Right sir, right sir. Now Mr. Sunil ji Bahel हमारे साथ हैं। Are you listening, Sunil ji? Sunil ji Bahal?
हेलो
Sunil Bahal sir. No, he is not with us. Mr. Munish Sharma, Mr. Munish Sharma is with us? I think he is not there with us. Now I would like to invite Mr. Pankaj Jain. If you want to share your something, add into the issues.
Good evening, all.
Good evening.
My personal take on this discussion paper is that there should be some limit as we are maturing into the profession. Because if you see all of the other regulated profession as well, CA, CS, and they also do set up limits for certain categories, for example, audit, etc. These are being limited. So therefore, in a sense, some restriction should be there on the number of assignments, which will bring in the quality in the assignment. But however, the criteria, etc., has to be reasonably judged. Because the turnover criteria which they have initially listed over here in the discussion paper does not fall to be a specific yardstick in this case. Does not meet the yardstick because there are a number of other criteria. For example, in a company which, for example, going into liquidation may not have any turnover at all. So therefore, all these criteria have to be reasonably adjusted based on paid up capital, based on the asset value, based on the turnover. All these factors have to be taken care of in putting the numbers. So therefore, I would say that some reasonable has to be there. And there are various fine points in this which we need to think through and give suggestion, because it says that at any given point of time. So again, which is very widely open, and once a resolution plan is put is before NCLT, it may be for months on till it is finally sanctioned. So do the RP is getting a remuneration during this period? If he is not getting that remuneration, then obviously that should not be counted in taking the number of assignments, because all these will also be based on the value which the RP is deriving from an assignment.
राइट पंकज जी, मतलब अभी तक हम लोगों की सबकी कंसेंसस कम से कम इतना तो है कि जो क्राइटेरिया डिफाइंड है, इट शुड बी मोर रियलिस्टिक, और इसमें कम से कम इसके लिए डिस्कशन पेपर आना चाहिए, रादर देन की रेस्ट्रिक्शन जो अभी लगाने वाले हैं या प्रपोज कर रहे हैं उसके लिए रेस्ट्रिक्शन आना चाहिए. नाउ आई वुड लाइक टू इनवाइट मिस्टर
In the current form, the restriction seems to be weird, because you are putting less than 1,000 crores 5 assignments. The number of, so we have to be based on a number of factors. For example, in the case of real estate company, I think one real estate company would be sufficient for one resolution professional, because there is a lot of work in any real estate company is concerned. Example, a lot of the challenges come from the home buyers specifically. So it also depends on the kind of company to which you are appointed a resolution professional, because the task is fairly different and cumbersome depending upon the industry as well.
Definitely, Pankaj. Thank you very much. Now, Mr. Dharmendra Kumar, please share your view.
Thank you, Sharmaji. I have shared, we had some discussions with our other colleagues in other group. So accordingly, we have submitted our responses, though we were not in agreement with the entire idea of the discussion paper, the timing and the issues covered by the discussion paper. But knowing IBBI and knowing their style of functioning, we thought it is better to submit the response at least. So I have shared my response that I have submitted on IBBI portal in the chat box. Just to summarize that, while I agree mostly with the previous colleagues and friends that this is not a comprehensive guideline or discussion paper, and if it is to be taken up, it has to be taken up in totality, not in piecemeal. However, we all know, and IBBI and BLRC report, everywhere it had been discussed that it is market determined, market forces will decide the quantum of work and allocation of work and everything. So once we are living on the market forces, market market takes time. It takes time in bringing that kind of efficiency and equilibrium. But main point here is market is made up of at least two basic things: demand and supply both. Here in the discussion paper, by regulating only insolvency professionals, it is IBBI is trying to regulate supply side only, not demand side, and that is my primary objection. That when you are telling that there is a market and not regulating all the market participants, how can you do a lopsided regulation, which is just restricting and putting more and more restrictions on already regulated insolvency professionals?
Definitely, sir. Thank you, Ravinder ji.
That's my view.
Right. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Aishwarya Mahana ji. Aishwarya ji Mahana, are you with us? I think he is not with us. Now, we have very little time to left.
नाम ठीक रोल ही ऐश्वर्या मोहन गहराना.
Aishwarya Mohan ji. Okay. Okay.
So anyone else would like to share? We have 5 minutes, then we'll close sharp at 6.
I think Sharma ji, आप इसको summarize कीजिए. Dev Rana ji, बताएं sir.
जी sir. My name is Devrat Rana, and I'm an IP having 2 cases in hand. Sir, as it was suggested by Mr. Madan and Mr. Makhija also, I think this is a totally futile exercise what we are doing. I don't know what exactly we are going to achieve with this. Reason is, it looks like only for the outliers, correct? How many of us really have, as he rightly asked Mr. Madan, how many of us have more than 5 assignments? Imagine when 64% of the IPs have 0 cases, does this question really matter to them? And if it is not, then come on, IBBI is expecting us to discuss an issue which is only for outliers. How about the majority? Majority don't have assignments. Majority's fees is not paid by COC. In one of my case, I'm not getting paid for last 6 months, imagine. So how do they expect that, regulation is fine, but it should matter to the people. Like as we see in democracy, whatever question or decision you are taking, it should be related to the majority of people, not only few people. So trust me, what I understand is the 5 limiting the number of cases, it will not impact more than 15 people in this fraternity.
Correct.
Maximum.
Correct.
How about 3,000 other people who are like, begging you to fix up the fees at least to say lakh or 2 lakh. These days, people must be aware, sir. Canara Bank or other bank, let me not name the bank, they have fixed up the fees that above 50,000 we are not gonna pay whatever be the quantum of work. Now, if you are, and after that you talk.
Right.
It's not that it's we are giving you 50.
Right.
will give you a upper limit of 50, and after that we are facing that issues.
For these 15 people, we are putting 3,000 people to discuss on the fate of the things. Okay, how things should
Exactly
be
my
moved.
point, sir. Correct. And I'm a little novice, but people like Mr. Makhija and Mr. Madan, when they are also of the same opinion that let's discuss something which is more important, something which is affecting 3,000 people, not only just 15, 20 people. Why are we even taking a yes or no for that? So 64% people who have nil cases, why will they say no, this is a bad decision? Yes, they will say, oh yes, it should be restricted. And 15 people will always say that this should not be, whatever the criteria. So I think it's a futile exercise, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, I would like to Mr. Sharma ji to sum up the meeting
Okay,
with closing remarks.
can I request Mr. Ashok Gupta quickly to give his opinion in 2 minutes? Ashok? Ashok? Yeah, please quickly. Only 2 minutes.
Your voice is not ready. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. चलो शर्मा जी आप समअप कीजिए, इनका अनम्यूट नहीं हो पा रहा है.
May I say a few words, sir? May I say a few words?
Yes, Sunil ji,
sure, please.
Yes, I want to have just 2 minutes only.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So whenever we look at the other professions, there the restrictions, their limits are there. When we talk about tax audit, we talk about secular audit, we talk about cost audit. There are the limitations, restrictions are there. These assignments are which are over within a few days or weeks, or at the most few months. This work of CRP takes months together, maybe beyond a year. So there must be some restriction so that the RP or IRP can focus on the work. So this is a round the year basis work is required. So limitation is a must. So how to determine, that is the only thing.
Means criteria should be more defined. Yes, sir. Yes, Sharma sir, please sum up the issue. Then.
Okay. Thanks all the members for joining it, and as we have tried that we start in time and finish it in time, so we'll close as usual. And what I would like to summarize is that most of the people are in favor of putting a restriction, but the criteria for working out this number of assignments is not proper, and that has to be a proper criteria. Plus, it has to be decided along with the issue of fees. As Mr. Dev Rana said that he's not getting fee for 6 months. So it's not a futile exercise unless we raise our voice and unless we put it properly, then there won't be, otherwise there won't be a response. So it is our duty, whatever we feel appropriate, we bring it to the notice of IBBI. Of course, the final decision lies with the IBBI and the government. Our job is to bring the opinion of people at large to them. So thanks to Vishal for moderating this, and thanks to Manish who has worked for organizing this webinar. And I would request our members to join in a larger number. Unless we address our issues, who will listen to us? And with that, I would like to thank everybody and close this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you all.
So,
अपना ईमेल
हाँ सर, वो ऑटोमेटिकली वो मेल आ जाता है सर रिकॉर्डिंग का पूरा. सो आई विल फॉरवर्ड इट टू यू. कुछ लोगों को ज्वाइन करने में इशू हो रहा था, आई डोंट नो व्हाई. सो टोटल 211 वाज द नंबर ऑफ द